What's up, everybody? Good evening. Welcome to Nightcap with Scone, presented by Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com, and Gamecoin. Penny, wipe it away, Gamecoin logo. Hell yeah. Hope y'all are having an awesome night. If you're new, Nightcap with Scone is a show that was born out of quarantine when nobody had anything going on. So on Whiskey Wednesday, we'd fire up a live stream and we would just hang out. We'd get a pour. We would talk about anything y'all wanted to talk about, sports related or otherwise. And I would just hang here and talk to y'all for as long as y'all wanted to talk. So welcome in. So do us a favor, Facebook, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. YouTube, smash that like button. Drop a comment, let me know what you're sipping on tonight. We appreciate y'all for being here. Caleb Clark, sick shirt, thank you, brah. Stole it. Charlie Gale, what's up? Dad, what's up? Chris Keller, what's up? Ready for Gamecoin to turn the other way? Yeah, man. Tell you what, Chris Keller, I am so off my shoulders. I mean, crypto's volatile. New people to crypto are just experiencing that for the first time. But man, I'm gonna tell you this much: like the best news, like the singular best news, the greatest news is the new smart contract is live. It is stable. It is working as it should, and all of that means every ambition that we have for Gamecoin of being the platform we all believe it can and will be, all of that is attainable. And that's awesome. I mean, there's going to be buys and sells, and that's what happens in the market. I mean, can't control that. So I'm not selling, I'll tell you that much. Darren Perrette, what's up? Aaron Hornsby, Kelly Gross, Tony Williams, Christopher Merrill, what's up, man? Darren Perrette, Lincoln Riley to LSU, the quarterback whisperer. Darren, I know there's some people are asking about Lincoln, and I do believe that Scott will make a call, as you make a handful of calls to the top coaches in the country. I do not believe at this moment that Lincoln Riley is going to be in play. Do you see any of the so-called picture of the LSU playing in Oklahoma? Nope. Danny Brabham, what's up? Tony Williams, Old Elk Weeded. Good choice. You know what, as a matter of fact, I may snag that. This is a little Bell Mead honey. A little sample I got from my guy Taylor Calandra over at Calandra's. Just one little, little ounce there. But maybe less than an ounce. But just a little sip. I think maybe after, that's pleasant. Stings the nostrils. That's just from Anchorman. Brad Jones, Craig Dugas, try to tell y'all LSU basketball school. You did, Craig, and I tried to tell you over the summer. Final Four. Alan Van Sel, Matt, what you know about the Riley stuff? Missing a press conference, a flight, blah, blah, blah. Nothing. Like, seriously. All of that chatter is not anything that I would deem in any way legitimate. Todd Guidros, what's up, Scone? Mel Tucker, Jimbo, thoughts on the number one recruiting class for baseball? I got a call today from a buddy who's a scout, been a baseball scout for a lot of years. Got a call from a buddy today, he's a scout. And he said, hey, man, he said, LSU got the number one recruiting class in the country. He goes, and number two wasn't even close. I was like, oh. He said, so Jay signed 21. He'll probably get 14 or 15 of them actually on campus. And with that, he'll have the best roster in the country. I was like, hey. He said they're also not done purging, which I think we'd expect. Like after fall ball, like you're going to have some guys, some holdovers from Maneri who won't be playing for LSU this year. I mean, he got the number one player in Nevada and California and Texas. I mean, incredible. Been on campus for 5 months. Incredible. That has got some heat on the palate. Holy crap, Bell Mead honey. Man, I don't know what the proof is on that. That's a little too hot for me, bro. God, dog, that's got some heat on the palate. Anyway, Scott Thibodeau, Jackson Carter, what's up? Is Jimbo leaving? Jackson, I don't know if he will. I think it's not out of the realm of possibility. I do believe that there has been inbound interest from Jimbo, and I believe absolutely Scott Woodward covets Jimbo. I don't know if they can consummate a deal, because I do know there are factions at LSU that are adamantly opposed. I'm not talking about fans. There are factions at LSU that are adamantly opposed to Jimbo, but ultimately, if it's Scott's decision, he picks who he wants. If he has a way to get Jimbo, I think he does it. Jordan Commander was wondering if I was going to be drinking some whiskey tonight. Hell yeah, bro. Jacob Hibbard, what's up? Logan Graffia, good morning. Neither Jimbo nor Tucker should be the head coach. That doesn't make any sense. Lee Leday, Old Forester 1920. Rogers W, Lawmakers Run 101. Michael Merritt, Matt, tell us who the next coach is going to be without telling us who the next coach is going to be. If I had to wager money today, I had to. Like, Matt, you have to bet all of your money right now. And I'm going with the highest probability. I would bet on Mel Tucker. I do absolutely believe that Scott will make a push for Jimbo. I believe there was a desire by Scott Woodward to make contact with Lincoln Riley. And I was told about a week ago that that one is off the table. Could it be back on the table? Maybe, but I don't think so. William Engelman, Jesse Brown. Safe to say Troutman's a bust. I wouldn't go that far, Jesse. He's in year 2. NyQuil is sipping some Z's. Year 2 for Troutman, I wouldn't say he's a bust. And honestly, Jesse, if you go back and listen to some of my early Saints takes from this year, I think not having Nick Vanette or the tight end in the Josh Hill role has affected Troutman. He's not a blocking tight end, and they try to make him an all-around tight end, and he's not that. I think it's limited his pass-catching ability. So I would love to see when the Josh Hill, Who-Man, Dan Arnold, Dan Campbell mold tight end is out there, what that does to free up Troutman in the passing game. Logan Graffia, Billy Napier is the guy. Billy Napier is not the guy, Logan. Dustin Blanchard, what's up? Travis Laurent, what's up, Scone? GMEX, let's go. Janet A, thank you, Janet, first to smash. Janet, you didn't email me today about your repair. Email me. Let's get that taken care of for you. Sean Valino, what's up? Sydney Bonnet, Josh Giraldo, Lemonade and Peach Circo. Okay, Jackson. Kirk Taylor, Kendall Rogers. Kendall. Baton Rouge on Sunday for the ULL scrimmage. See you at the box. Well, Kendall, that would actually be a really good guy to talk to right now. Although I'm organically on YouTube and not on my Zoom, so I couldn't bring Kendall on, although I would. Otherwise, I would. I don't think you can bring him on that way. Yeah, it doesn't allow. But anyway, Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Y'all should be following Kendall Rogers at D1 Baseball, by the way, if you're not. 153 watching on YouTube. Smash that like button. What about our Facebook peeps? We've got 150 on Facebook. Shout out to all of y'all. Sam Bacon, no Lincoln Navigator. I'm going to go ahead and say no. Alex Fudge has all the measurables of something special. I'm fired up about the basketball team. Tony Williams, I like Tucker a lot. Think he'll be great here in Baton Rouge. Heard Kim Mulkey has a great recruiting class as well. She does. I'll tell you the other thing, man. Kim Mulkey, y'all knew Kim Mulkey was going to come here and break a few eggs to make her omelet, and she's doing that, man. I don't know if y'all noticed, but Patrick Wright has a color analyst now on the women's basketball radio broadcast. Kim Mulkey, she's not the color analyst, but she demanded that. She's also question why the women's games aren't also on Eagle 98.1. She is pushing. Like, she is going to make people give a damn about women's basketball. Like, they're going to win, too, which is going to help. But she's pushing. Good for her, man. John McDonald, what's going on? Todd Guidros, love to hear it. Hudco had his killer as usual. Thank you, bro. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Real quick, Edward McGrath, howdy from Florida. Jack Davis, Darius Days went off. Let's hope he stays consistent. I don't think we're going to expect 8 of 9 from 3, but they're going to be good. If you, by the way, real quick, if you have if you got your scope of work, let's say you had damage due to Ida, your insurance adjuster's come out, maybe you even got a check. Give us a shout at HUDCO, especially. A lot of you, if you have your scope of work, let's roll. I mean, let's jam. We've got materials, we got labor, we'll get to you pronto. Let me point out that if you are on someone else's schedule and like, yeah, we can't get to you until after the new year, call us. We can get to you well before that. HUDCORoofing.com. Actually, go to HUDCORoofing.com. Or just email, better yet, email me directly. I'll handle it. Matt at HUDCORoofing.com. Matt at HUDCORoofing.com. Your business, something you know. HUDCORoofing.com. Let's see. I'm surprised by all y'all taking the bait on that Riley stuff. Lincoln Riley? No, not Lincoln Riley. Let's see. Where are we? Sean Hindenburger. What up, Matt? Chattanooga cash strength. Not a fan of Jimbo. I don't get it. I really don't understand the segment of the LSU fans that don't like Jimbo. I don't understand it. I don't know where that stems from. He won a natty. He's had 3 quarterbacks go in the first round. He inherited a not great situation at the end of the Bowden era. Florida State turned them into a perennial contender, national championship winner. Went to A&M and has made them a contender. He's a great recruiter. He's a great offensive mind. Loves LSU. Loves Baton Rouge. I don't understand. So. Blaze Calandro. Jimbo leave. Nah, show me the LSU money. Blaze, if you don't think LSU's got money, that's just ignorant. And the Blaze is an Aggie, by the way. The real question, Blaze, is not whether or not A&M has money. It's are they willing to spend any more after extending Jimbo last year? And I mean, I've said the number that I heard LSU's willing to pay is 8 years, $100 million. It's 12 and a half a year. If A&M ain't willing to go to that, you say, well, see you. They may. And LSU's got the money, bro. Believe me, they have the money. Boosters have the money. And Scott Woodward knows the people to call. What's up, Matt? Love your content. Would love to know Riley's a legit name for LSU or Napier. Napier's a no-go. Listen, here's what I'll tell you about Napier. Napier has his legions out there pushing for him. And to be very clear, I think Billy Napier would do a great job. And I would be okay with it. But speaking in English, I'm not pushing Napier. But all of the Napier conversation is Billy Napier's foot soldiers driving his name to the forefront to anyone who would listen. That's what that is. I don't even think Billy Napier's getting an interview. So you ain't getting a job. Anyway. Michael Kleber, Alec Campbell, even to Matt. Don't drink whiskey, but enjoy the pipe by the fireplace. All right, Alec. Not bad. Stephen Bond, good morning, or ban. Jerry DeLucky, the hits just keep coming with the Tigers' injuries. Yeah, not sure if y'all saw, but 2 more LSU offensive linemen injured. Ed Ingram and Chasen Hines won't be available for Arkansas. Hines is done for the year. So. Blake DeArmond, still think Lane Kiffin is the best option. Lane Kiffin's not getting the job. Blake. Don't even need to read the rest. Kerry Hughes, have you been to confession yet for cussing in Baton Rouge traffic while on morning Scone? Did I do that? I probably did, Kerry. Sorry, not sorry. I am sorry that I cursed on morning Scone if I did, because morning Scone is family friendly. Let's see. Rosemary Kammerer. Hey, Matt, what about Jimbo Fisher? Yeah, I think Jimbo is the apple of Scott Woodward's eye. We'll see if they can finish the deal. Jackson Carney, Matt, I don't get why Tucker is under consideration. He's a defensive coach, yet his defense as a head coach and as a coordinator in the NFL have been awful, and 2 out of 3 seasons have been below 500. So, Jackson, I'm going to make this assumption. I don't know this for a fact, but I'm going to assume that you did not watch a single game that Mel Tucker coached at Colorado, and probably did not watch a single game he coached a season ago at Michigan State, and have only watched maybe parts of 2 games this season. I'm going to make that assumption. So to blindly throw out a statistic, I think is actually really short-sighted. I'll give you an example. Matt Rule. Let's look at Matt Rule. Matt Rule's record in college, overall, 47-43. Not very good. Barely above 500. Yet he got an NFL head coaching job. Why is that? Well, look at what he took over. He went to Temple, one of the worst jobs in college football. First year, they went 2-10. He had an awful program. Hadn't won a conference title in like 60 years. They go 2-10, and then 6-6, then 10-4, then 10-3. Gets the Baylor job, post-Art Briles, disaster, probation, everything. They go 1-11 his first year, terrible. But they went from 1-11 to 7-6, to 11-3. Now, if all you did was he's 47-43, he's barely above 500, he's no good, you lose the context of that. And the context around Mel Tucker is that, what he inherited at Colorado was not good, but he did a good enough job to allow him to jump from Colorado to Michigan State, where he'd been an assistant prior under Nick Saban. Of course, his reputation as a phenomenal recruiter, great defensive coach, NFL experience, both as a coordinator and an interim head coach, made him an intriguing candidate. He got the job at Michigan State in February before COVID. So he got the job, and a month later, remember, after the signing period, by the way. So he did not even have a chance to sign his own class. And then a month later, the world shuts down because of COVID. So he has no spring, he has no fall. Remember, the Big Ten canceled its season, only then to reinstate the season later and have a modified year with no breaks and all that sort of stuff. Not exactly the most ideal situation for a new head coach to step into. Yet, after that, he remakes his roster through the transfer portal, and look at where they are this year. Context matters. It does. You can ignore it if you don't want him to be the coach. That's fine if you don't want him to be the coach. But don't ignore the context around his entire resume, because that's disingenuous. Do you still think LSU can make a Final Four run after the Adam Miller injury? I asked John Brady about Adam Miller's injury impact today, and he said, really don't know because we don't know what he would have been on this team. I know what they wanted him to be on this team. They wanted him to be the leading scorer, and not having him sucks. And I would have preferred a 9-man rotation with Adam Miller in it, as opposed to an 8-man rotation without him. But they sure looked good the other day. I'm dodging your question. Night Quillis, Napier is like 5th or 6th on the list. Woodward knows he'll take it if his top 4 turn him down. Yeah, Night Quillis, he's lower than 5th or 6th, quite honestly, when you consider the calls that Woodward already made for levels of interest. And the thing about Woodward is, like with the baseball hire, he has his floor. He knows the guy that will take the job that he won't get beyond, and I think that's Mel Tucker. They're not going to get to Napier. If he connects on Jimbo or Lincoln or one of the ones y'all are all mentioning, great. If not, it'll be Mel Tucker. Sidney Bonnet, just curious your thoughts behind Riley not being a possibility. Because I was told last week from someone I trust that Scott was holding Jimbo and Riley in his back pocket as shots that he would like to shoot, and that last week Riley was no longer being considered. See, the thing that most fans don't understand, and I don't mean this to be degrading, I really don't, but most fans think Ed was fired and then they began the search. The process of vetting candidates began in the summer. And it got really intense after the UCLA loss, and then was scorching after the Auburn loss. So you can throw out, what about this guy? Like, I mean, they're landing the plane. Like, the plane has already begun its initial descent, and you think it's takeoff. Hey, how long do you think it'll take us to get to cruising altitude? No, we're landing. Like, they're already in descent. Like, buckle your seatbelts, return your tray tables back to their full and upright position. You know what I mean? Like, that's where they are in this process already. Their descent. The descent has begun. This isn't takeoff. This is descent. We've done taking off, cruising altitude. They handed out the peanuts and the Cokes and all that shit, and we're descending. Let's see. William Hodges, what's up? Blake DeArmond, how specifically did the Jimbo deal fall apart in 2015? Was F. King too busy drinking out of his flask to approve the deal when Oliva had it done, causing Sexton to up the price? That's pretty much it, Blake. Yeah. That's pretty much what happened. They had an agreed upon terms, and it took, they being Oliva and Sexton. Oliva went to King Alexander, and it took King about 3 days to get back to Joe. When he finally did, and Joe went back to Sexton, Sexton was like, all right, well, the price is up now. So then Joe had to go back to King, and that's when King was like, no deal. And that was the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So all this narrative about how the decision was made at a board meeting in the third quarter of the A&M game is bullshit. They gathered a group of board members to tell them that Joe Oliva was about to have in the post-game press conference an announcement that Les was staying. That wasn't a vote. They didn't decide because they were beating A&M. No, that's not what happened. Brian Thorgeson, what's going on? Some Bywater, listening to the best show on Wednesday night. Thank you, Brian. Michael Wells, what's up? Last of Odin, what's going on? Last son of Odin. Any word on Odell? Not anything beyond what we heard earlier today. Matt saying good morning. Did I say good morning? Habit. Mitch Page. Don't think it's Jimbo because he's building the #1 recruiting class in the country at A&M. We'll see, Mitch Page. And if he's doing that and he takes the LSU job, he'll go to all them recruits and say, hey, why don't you go play for me in Baton Rouge? Darren Mayer. Trader Joe's, label burden, old-fashioned. Don't knock it till you try it. I'll knock it, Darren. I will knock it. Gulf South, what's up? Sorry, but Tucker isn't the same league as Jimbo. I agree with that. Not even the same realm. I honestly don't understand why Tucker is considered better hired than Napier, because he's been a Power 5 head coach. Tons of experience in the SEC. He's a bit older. Napier's 42. Tucker's 49. Been in the NFL. Been an interim head coach in the NFL. DC in the NFL. DC had multiple Power 5 jobs, including Bama and Georgia. Lots of reasons. Mark Allen, do you think they announce it after the A&M game? I do. I think they'll play A&M on November the 27th, and I think the coach will be announced within 48 hours. Are you ever going to be live on again? I'm not sure what that means, Rosemary. Are you ever going to be live on again? I don't know what that means. Robert Potts, what happened to the conversation with Dabo? Originally said there was willingness for a conversation. That's what I was told, was that there was at least conversation, maybe some mutual interest. But, the thing that I've said a couple of times is, and so many people, this is the problem when you have these conversations as they go along. An open door or a morsel of information people kick through and they run through the door. For example, this is why I like the dating analogy that I've given. If you're interested in someone, you think they're attractive, and you go on a coffee date, that doesn't mean you're getting married. It doesn't mean you're going to have children and grandchildren and build your life together. It means you had interest and you're willing to have a conversation over coffee to see if it's worth having another date. A lot of these are at that level, like when you hear someone's name. But the problem is too many fans hear that and assume that means, oh, that guy's getting hired. It means you're having a conversation. You always listen. You vet options. Daryl Lanklos, what's up? What did you think of the Napier interview? On AFR, I thought Napier was great. Very impressed. And I've told y'all this before, but I was told by a staffer at the big Crimson school to our east that the only coaches they would fear were Napier and Tucker. So I think Napier would do great here, but he's not going to get the job. Gail Lindsay, Jimbo's too old. Jimbo's 56 years old. He's not too old. He's 56. He can coach 14 more years and be as old as Nick is right now. Brian Leday, what's up? Left FSU and Chance. That's not true. They were number 3 in the country his final year there to start the season. The quarterback got his knee exploded in the first game against Alabama. Season went to hell while he was being courted by A&M and left. And since then, you've seen why it's impressive that he won the way he did, because it's hard to win at Florida State. Let's see. Fred Flintstone, Dan Stower's kick-ass shirt. Thank you, man. That's Gamecoin. Well, actually, it's like part of a penny, and then it's the Gamecoin logo here. So, thegamecoin.net if you want more information. I got it pinned there to the comments on both Facebook and YouTube. Thegamecoin.net. Fired up about it. It's going to change Baton Rouge. It's going to change the sporting world, actually. Flight track is laughable, right? Because a plane went from Baton Rouge to Oklahoma today. Stunning that might happen. A plane went from Louisiana to Oklahoma today. What happened to Lane Train? Derailed. Tony Williams. I think Jimbo is using LSU to get more money from A&M. Maybe, Tony. I'll say this. I think one of two things is true. Because you talk to people at A&M and they are adamant that Jimbo swears he is not leaving. One of two things is true. Either he is lying. He is just a bald-faced lie to everyone at A&M, or he is just trying to leverage the LSU interest to get more from A&M. One of the two. Jeff McKithnell, Basil Hayden toast. Somebody asked today about Basil Hayden toast on our segment with Taylor. I have not tried it. Rupert Damone Follins. It's the Marine Corps' birthday. It is indeed. Take a top shelf shot for us Devil Dogs. So, Rupert, I will not shoot anything on my top shelf. That's sipping whiskey. It's not shooting whiskey. But I will have a nice pour in honor of the Marines. Semper Fidelis. Tell what I'm going to do. I told someone earlier I was going to do this one. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. This is my Old Elk Wheat Whiskey Matt Moscona More Scone 1000th episode special edition, courtesy of my guy Luis Gonzalez from Old Elk, who hooked up your boy when we did our 1000th show. We're already over 1,300 shows now on Morning Scone. So I guess that's been almost a year now since he had those done for us. Give me a little Old Elk Wheat Whiskey, one of my favorite pours in the world. Let's see. I think Gary Patterson would be a good fit for the Tigers. Yeah, I don't think they're going to hire a fired coach. Ronnie Jenkins, he was toe up from the floor up for UCLA. Josh Neal, Lincoln Riley has reached the ceiling at OU. Time to bring him to Baton Rouge. You know, Josh, I'll tell you the interesting thing about Lincoln. I'm not telling you I'm opposed to Lincoln, but I don't understand the infatuation there when you have a young guy who inherited a winning program, has certainly continued that success, but has been absolutely abysmal in its playoff opportunities. So I don't get it. I don't understand why fans would rebuff someone like Jimbo, who's won a national title, for a guy like Lincoln Riley, who's been embarrassed in his playoff opportunities. How about a Manning? Yeah, I know. Jason Austin, what's up? Edward McGrath, question. In your opinion, which of the current potential hires in the incoming recruiting class, would be best for the current players in the incoming recruiting class, coaching style-wise? Honestly, Edward, while I respect the question, I don't think it matters. I don't think you make a hire based on that short term of a view. I think you understand that when you make a hire, you're going to lose some players, both current players and recruits. But the opposite is also true, especially in the transfer portal era, where whoever you hire will likely bring recruits and players with him from his current situation. Stephen Wallace, Tony Williams, what happened to Sharif O'Neal? Still dealing with a foot injury, man. Hope he gets back. Man, I love his size, his length, especially on the defensive end. You know, one thing Sharif said before last season was he was here to rebound. And I would love to see him part of this rotation. Jay Ducote, what's good, man? Yes, talk about roasted pigs on Friday. Jason Austin, You don't think Woodward had his man when he let Coach O go? I think he was already, like I just talked about, landing the plane. I think he was already at cruising altitude at that point. They knew they were firing Ed Ogeron after they lost to UCLA. Marquise Robinson, another Lincoln Riley question. Jason Austin, seems like Napier would have more experience recruiting Louisiana than Tucker. Not true. Remember, Mel Tucker was at LSU, although it was in 2000. He was also recruiting the area and has recruited the area for both Bama and Georgia. Josh Neal, Napier wants the LSU job, but as bad as Spurrier did back in the day. Hope Scott hits a home run with this hire. I think he will, Josh. But I know Billy Napier wants the job. I know because the reason Billy Napier was on my show is because one of his legions of foot soldiers came to me and was like, hey, Billy Napier wants this job. Will you put him on the air? I was like, okay, I'll put him on the air, but I'm going to ask him about the LSU job. And the response was, good, he wants you to ask him about the LSU job. I said, okay, that's why Billy Napier was on my show 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whenever it was. He's stumping for the job. He wants the job. He has a lot of people out there pushing him. That's why Jordy's talking about him. So I'm sure somebody's telling Jordy Napier wants the job, and that's why he's pushing it. That's why everybody's pushing it. That's why everybody's talking about it. Whoever you hear talking about it. Dan Stowers, what's in store for Gamecoin holders? Any good news updates? P.S. Is that the nickel Gamecoin shirt? Oh, well, that would be a penny. It's Abe Lincoln. And again, I don't know where this came from. I just know that my buddy, Anthony Ray, was wearing this in his Instagram story. So I messaged him. I was like, I want one. So I guess his neighbor had it made. So he gave me one, which is very nice. To the moon. Dan, what's in store for Gamecoin? All great things, man. More donations coming. More ambassador athlete announcements coming. Q1 of 2022, they've already announced that we'll be in beta testing for the platform. Awesome stuff. This Saturday, a Gamecoin ambassador athlete is one of the top ranked female fighters in the world is going to be fighting in Bellator, and she will have Gamecoin all over her kit, which is really cool. Y'all know that Bitmart is coming. That announcement will be coming really soon as well. So great, just tons of great stuff, man. I'm telling you, just the biggest news was getting the smart contract launched. It just, the way I keep explaining it to people is, we were on dial-up internet, and we had to move to 5G to be able to build the types of stuff we want to build. And I know it was a bumpy ride, and I know it scared a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people are new to crypto. I mean, most people have never dealt with how volatile crypto can be, and so I get it, man. And so, like, when Monday came and the freeze ended, we all knew there was going to be people that dump it. The most impressive thing was that it was bought right back within like 30 minutes. Now, I didn't see yesterday happen in the follow-up dip, but man, just great stuff. Tons of great stuff coming. It's just, the reality is, if you know crypto, this is why, I'll tell you this. And I think I have to throw out a disclaimer. Like, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give investing advice. Do what you want. Do your own research. Make sound decisions. But one of the people ask me all the time, like, do you own Shiba or Doge? No, I don't. Ever, never will. Because I don't invest in meme coins. I don't invest. It's not an investment in projects that have no utility, because someone is going to get left holding the bag, and I'm just not going to let it be me. So I only invest in projects that have a strong fundamental, a good utility. And I think the utility behind Gamecoin is going to change the world. I think allowing athletes the opportunity to own their own crypto asset, from 9 years old to Tom Brady, and to be able to put a perpetual royalty on something like that is a game changer. I mean, I'm oversimplifying it, but if you think about a digital trading card, I mean, what if you saw Derek Stingley at Dunham as a freshman, and you thought, man, I think that guy's going to be awesome. And Derek Stingley had a Dunham token, right? A numbered rare token, and it was like when he was at Donovan, you got a Derek Stingley token in 2015 or 16, whatever, 17, and then he goes to LSU, becomes an All-American, becomes a top 5 pick, becomes a perennial All-Pro Hall of Famer. Well, you have a Derek Stingley token from 2017. What's that worth? You know what I mean? Like that's the utility of Gamecoin is what's so exciting, man. So I mean, like a penny, 2 penny, like whatever. I mean, if pull back and look at the 10,000, the 30,000 foot view, and man, it is exciting. Julie McKee, what's going on? Brennan Samaha, what's up? Gail Lindsay. Richard Ferrero. If we're honoring the Marines, you also need to have a crayon to eat. Jason Austin. Matt, what type of whiskey do you recommend for people who don't necessarily like a strong alcohol taste? Well, I mean, Jason, I would probably recommend starting with whiskey cocktails. I'd try an old fashioned. I'd try a Kentucky Mule. I would try a Sazerac cocktail to see if any of that, just so you can get the taste of whiskey in a drink, and then you could try maybe something mild on the rocks. So it's a little bit, takes a little bit of the bite off of it. You can get the flavor, and then you could start working towards something neat. Tony Williams, what's up? Trey Mitchell, I know this is beating a dead horse, but I just heard a report that LSU's private jet was in Norman. Was it really? Did you hear that report? Yo, can I ask you a question? Like, honestly. I want to ask you a question, like, legitimately. I'm just curious what you think when I say this to you. If LSU was interested in Lincoln Riley, do you think that LSU would take the LSU private plane during the season, during a week when OU is playing at number 13, the undefeated Oklahoma is playing at number 13 Baylor, trying to make its push into the playoff? Do you think LSU would fly the LSU plane into Norman, Oklahoma to meet with Lincoln Riley on a game week? Do you think he would take time away from his team in preparation for a game against number 13 Baylor in Waco to interview for the LSU job with the LSU athletic director? Like, do you honestly, I want you to honestly think about this and answer that. Because the more I say it, the more stupid you probably you probably understand how that sounds, how stupid that actually is. Do you honestly think that Scott Woodward would get on the LSU plane, fly into Norman, Oklahoma, during the Oklahoma-Baylor game week to interview Lincoln Riley? Do you think that Oklahoma's AD and everyone associated with Oklahoma would be cool with their coach just taking 5 to go interview with the LSU athletic director? Everybody's Dick fucking Tracy. Nathan Califf having a glass in honor of Grammy Award-winning international superstar Nelly performing the world-renowned Lamar Dixon Center in Gonzales, jambalaya capital of the world. Nelly, I love you. I do. Pimp juice. Woo! Think I need to let her loose. Let her loose, let her loose. Let's see. Planes flying to Oklahoma every day. Oh, man. Okay. Hey, Matt, when sportsbook apps going online, I'm ready for that free play. I don't know when it's going to be, J-Rays. I don't know the exact date, but I am fired up. Hopefully, you've already downloaded your DraftKings Sportsbook app. Of course, DraftKings has been a great. I'll tell you all this candidly, y'all. DraftKings made a substantial advertising buy with 104.5 ESPN. That's why you hear it on all of our shows, and we're thrilled that they thought enough of our station to want to partner with us. And obviously, y'all, sports betting is going to be a thing that's just a glut of ad dollars coming in, and you're going to hear it a lot. But if you were into sports betting and you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, if you would use the code Baton Rouge for your free $100 play, that'd be awesome. That would let them know that you heard it from us because it's our code. Let's see. Jesse Brown, Brandon Rees. Wouldn't be surprised if Woodward LSU offer Riley 10-year, $120 million deal. They're not going to offer 10 years, 120. I'm telling you, Brandon, I'm not guessing. The number I heard was 8 years, 100 million is what they floated. And I don't know that they would give that to Lincoln Riley, but that's the number that they floated, which would amount to 12.5 million per. Aiden Cruz, is Dabo off the table for the job? I would say so, Aiden. Brian Williams, Stephen Hoagie. Hoagies and grinders, Navy beans, meatloaf sandwich, Slobber Joe, Slobber Joe, yeah. Stephen Hoagie. Juan Jacoby, what's up? Dane Pritchard, thanks for the Arkin Frauds phrase. I live in Arkansas and I've used it all week. I love it. Oh, so good. Kendall. I'm sorry, Kendall. I'll jump back over to Facebook. I missed your comment. Let's do a hit after the stories. I am down. Kendall Rogers on AFR. Yes, please. Mitch Page, what's good? Juan Jacoby. Michael Merritt. Nyquillis. Alex Day. Chucky Dolls. Did Odell join a team yet? Not yet. Look at all these questions for Kendall. I love it, man. David Kennedy. Matt, still digging the content. Mel Tucker, probably our best option, in my opinion. Nyquillis, I need a Hudco hat. Nyquillis, we have Hudco hats. I will gladly give you a Hudco hat. But you have to post it. You have to post a picture of yourself wearing the Hudco hat on all of your social media. But that's our deal. Lee Valius, what's going on? Jerry Carter, number one recruiting class. You have fans asking why we don't have more Louisiana signings. He's going to fix the roster, bro. It's going to be awesome. And Jay Johnson. Pooh. Kyle Colombo, if you listen to Jay Johnson's press conference, he sounded fairly confident he can get some of the highly ranked signings to campus. Well, Kyle, I'll tell you this. I know he signed 3 of the top shortstops in the country. Let's say you get one of those. Okay. Now you're set at shortstop for the next 3 years. He signed 2 of the top catchers in the country. Can you get one of those? He signed 5 left-handed pitchers that all throw above 90. What? Incredible. Nyquillis. Not liking Jimbo stems from how many years at A&M and no trips to Atlanta. See, it goes wrong with Winston. Yeah, that's not a smart comparison. He's had way too much sustained success as a head coach to lump him into that category. And he's built it now at 2 places. Here's his record at Florida State. Here's his wins. 10, 9, 12, 14, 13, 10, 10, and then 5 and 6. Aside from his last season at Florida State, every year he won double digits except for his 9-4 season in his second year there. He was 83 and 23. And at A&M, he went 9-4 the first year, then 8-5, and then 9-1 last year, won the Orange Bowl, and he's destined for the New Year's Six again this year. Like, beat Alabama. Like, I'm telling you, bro. I legitimately don't know where that disdain comes from. Like, where the segment of the LSU fan base that doesn't like, and I'm kind of legitimately asking, but there's a segment of the LSU fan base like, I don't want Jimbo. I'm like, where does that come from? Like, why the disdain for Jimbo when he's had a pretty incredible run as a head coach, which includes a national title, a Heisman Trophy winner, 3 quarterbacks in round 1. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of his 8 seasons at Florida State were double-digit wins, and one of them was 9. I don't know what y'all want, bro. I mean, whew. Shout out to Hudco Roofing, by the way. Oh, let's do this. Get ready, y'all.
When you need a roof, call someone you know. Scone and Terry. All you need is Hudco. Call Hudco Roofing. 364-1007.
There you have it. Or just email me, matt@hudcoroofing.com. Tom Grant, good evening. Gulf South. If LSU offers Jimbo $12.5 million a year, that means A&M would have to give him another $4 million raise, literally 6 months after giving him 1.5. Exactly. So that's the point, right? Gulf South's a very prudent point. Like that is the point. Like they would probably say, bleep you. A&M, like that's likely what they would do is they say, bleep you, we're not paying that. John Richardson, I agree with you. I agree with what you're saying about Jimbo, but I would argue he left FSU with their cover. That's just, again, I've already answered that. That's not smart. You would argue that and you'd be wrong. The problem with Florida State has been they have made bad hires after Jimbo. And the fact that Jimbo was willing to leave was because facilities weren't good and they wouldn't invest in assistants, and his assistants kept getting pillaged every year. John Richardson, Jimbo's won natties with a very talented quarterback, same way you argue Coach Joe got lucky with Burrow. That's, again, I don't get your point. Your point's very stupid because he's coached 3 first-round draft picks as a quarterback during his time at Florida State. He also, I just went through it, had 6 double-digit win seasons in 8 years. Like, this isn't even a debate. That's actually very stupid. He is a known developer of quarterbacks everywhere he's been. He's maximized that position. He is actually a smart coach. And your expectation can't be to win a national championship every year. If your expectation is only that, then the only coaches you can hire would be Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney, Mac Brown, or Ed Orgeron. Mac Brown and Ed both won 1, and then the only other one is Jimbo that's currently active. So that can't be your only criteria. If it is, and you're looking for someone who's won multiple, then it's either Nick or Dabo, and that's it. You got to say, who is the guy that can maximize this situation to win with the resources here? I probably need to stop wearing the shirt because it says GME. Or I need to add an X, GMEX. Sean, no Matt Rule. That's stupid as well. If LSU got Matt Rule, that would be a freaking grand slam. Matt Rule would win. Matt Rule would be in the mold of Nick. Having won in college, gone to the pros, it didn't pan out, come back to a cush job in college, and won big for 10, 15 years. That Matt Rule would be at LSU. I'm not saying he'd win 7 titles like Nick, but he'd win major here for a long time. KNC50, Kiffin, nope. Jackson Carter, will playoff expansion down the line. How big is this hire? It's always a big hire, but I mean, it's LSU, and I think with Scott Woodward, he knows that. So, by the way, 199 watching, only 96 likes. Can we get the likes up on YouTube? Can y'all smash that like button for us? Someone asked me, it's like, I don't mean to sound stupid, but how do you smash the like? Well, the like is the thumbs up. If you're watching on mobile, just X out of live chat. You'll see a little thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, then tap live chat. You come right back in. So thank you for that. I'd appreciate it greatly. And if you're on Facebook, if you would like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. That would be awesome. 104 still watching there. I love this. Love Nightcap. Our little Nightcap community here is phenomenal. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Bobby, what do you think the reason is coaches aren't drawing off more quarterback draws for Johnson? I think LSU's play callers are bad. Quandre Hurts, what do you think will become of Zion and the Pelicans? I would love to see the Pelicans with Zion before I make that decision, but they're not very good right now. Eric, Matt, always appreciate your patience when answering GMEX questions. Sure, man. Did I interpret correctly that the transactions that appear to be arbitrage were actually charity wallet transactions? Correct, Eric. So, but again, with a contract, some of that had to be worked out to make sure we knew what it was. Let me say the executives of Gamecoin knew what that was, because people were looking and saying, what is that? Well, effectively, whenever the reflection hit with the old contract, it was set to hit every time 300 million coins moved. So you would see this big red candle, because you have to sell the coin for it to reflect. It stores in a wallet and then it has to be sold. So instead of accumulating, then having the big sale, right? They were selling on every transaction. So you were seeing these little sales, but it was a buy and a sell, right? It was the same, it looked like the same number over and over and over and over again. Well, that was the reflection hitting. Well, suffice to say, it's going to happen in a different manner. So, but yes, that's what that was. That's exactly what that was, which is amazing, because do you know how much money, especially with all of with burning the 25 billion coins and then all of the activity the past couple of days, do you know how much money has gone into the charity wallet? 5% of every transaction. I mean, go look at CoinGecko or any of the market stats. I think yesterday was $14 million of activity. I mean, you're talking $14 million. What's that, 700K? 10% would be 1.4 million, so 5% would be half of 1.4. What's it? That's 700K, right? 700K went in the charity wallet in one day. I mean, think like Gamecoin is going to change this city forever. Like, do you realize, like, in one day, just the activity going through that coin generated 700K for charitable causes? Like, if you believe nothing else about crypto or Gamecoin, just know that when you buy Gamecoin or sell it, like, you are contributing to that charity wallet, which is generating enormous amounts of money. It is amazing to think what that is doing. Just that part alone. If we get Riley, you think Caleb Williams comes with him? I don't think LSU's getting Riley. Why didn't O have a list in his drawer of top coordinator hires? Well, I think he did. I think some coordinators probably didn't want to coach for him because they knew there was a chance he'd get fired. Just honestly. I also think he's just a very poor judge of coaching talent. And I also think he is proven to be a guy who hires people he knows with sort of comfortable hires. And when he's tried to extend beyond that, he's trusted people without properly interviewing and vetting because he doesn't know what he's looking for. Michael Merritt, Matt, fans love the bad boy persona with Will Wade. Is that the reasoning for not going after Kiffin? No. I'm telling you, no matter what info anyone is getting, nobody knows but Scott Woodward. So, last son of Odin, here's what I would like to say to you, because I hear that sometimes. People are like, nobody knows Scott, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Here's what you have to understand, okay? And listen very carefully. Because just listen very carefully. If Scott Woodward makes a phone call and has a conversation with a coach, with an agent, with a coach's rep, or anyway, Scott Woodward may not reveal the content of that conversation. But every conversation he has, somebody's on the other line. And that person may not be as tight-lipped as Scott Woodward. You understand what I mean? So if you're actually trying to search and vet this search, it's probably not coming from Scott Woodward. He's intentionally not tipping his hand. He shouldn't. But other people likely have a lot to gain by information getting out. Give me an example. When LSU was courting Tom Herman, 2016, and we're watching LSU play Texas A&M on that Friday after Thanksgiving. And no, I'm sorry, it was Thanksgiving night. It was Thanksgiving night. They're playing Thanksgiving night. And we see on the crawl, during the game, we see on the crawl, LSU, Tom Herman, LSU expected to name Tom Herman head coach, right? We saw that on the crawl. Do you think Joe Oliva leaked that story to ESPN? Or I'm sorry, it was Horns 247 that reported. Do you think Joe Oliva leaked that? Well, no, Joe Oliva didn't leak that. He was trying to keep it under wraps. He had a meeting in Houston Saturday morning. LSU played on Thursday, on Thanksgiving night. Houston played Friday against Memphis. And then Saturday, Joe Oliva was flying his happy ass to Houston to meet Tom Herman to sign the contract and bring him back to Baton Rouge. But on Thanksgiving night, that comes on the crawl. You think Joe Oliva leaked it? Fuck no. Trace Armstrong leaked it. Herman's agent leaked it to the Texas website essentially to say, hey, this is about to happen. If you want to talk to our guy, you better get in, because Trace's objective is not to protect LSU. It's to get the best deal for his client. And when he had multiple offers, he could leverage them against each other. That's what a good agent does. And Joe Oliva said, fuck you, we had a deal, see ya, and walked. Now he's chicken shit for doing it, and he just rushed, Farmer Fran up to the podium, and it went the way it did. But, that's because Joe Oliva's a weak leader, and he should have played hardball with Trace to get the guy he wanted. Didn't, whatever. But the point being, back to last son of Odin, yeah, Scott Woodward's not saying shit. That don't mean the people on the other side of the fucking phone ain't saying shit. I'm telling you, the only person who knows, you're telling me shit. You don't know nothing, bruh. Ain't my first rodeo, dog. Drake Knapp, what's up? Miles has an addy. Current head coaches. If Mel Tucker's the guy, I would be questioning the move because he's not proven he can keep it up. I'm sorry, that's how I feel. Okay. Jonathan Burris. Hey, Matt, what's up with all this Lincoln Riley smoke? Nothing. Rapping batches. I'd go jingle. Better rant, your 2020 LSU Bama reaction or when Oliva suspended Wade. I would need to go back and remember the Oliva suspending Wade rant. I really don't remember it. But you've inspired me to go find it, I guess. Spurge. Olivia V. Torpedo and Tito's. There you go, Spurge. My guy. A&M plays in Baton Rouge. Jimbo doesn't go back with A&M introduced on Monday. That would be funny. I hope the next coach can win a natty in the next few years. I mean, given LSU's history, you would think it would be true. Let's see. Jordan Malazzo. Don't hate the Tucker idea, but why Tucker over Aranda? Both strong defensive minds. Is Tucker the much better recruiter than Dave? That's a huge part of it. Dave Aranda doesn't like to recruit, number one. Number two, more SEC experience. And Georgia. Tucker's been around longer. He's 49. Aranda's 42. Just a little more proven track record. By the way, I'm not stumping for Mel Tucker. I'm not saying like home run, no doubt, slam dunk. Anyone who has any type of hang-ups or reservations, okay, like I think that's valid. He hasn't won at the highest level. He's been a head coach. This is his third season. All that's valid. I'm just telling you, I'm just relaying to you information, not opinions. And I'll be very clear to tell you when it's an opinion. Chad Arnold. Why can't you find the hand grift not pushing Napier rant anywhere? It's out there. What if Mel turns down LSU? He wouldn't. Morning from the Philippines. All right, Zeus Von Raphael. Watch a video about Lincoln. I'm not answering anymore about Lincoln. Be fair, what's up? I don't think Tucker would leave Michigan State or they would let him. Yes, he will. He's got a $2.5 million buyout, and I believe that Mel Tucker's already given a verbal that he'll take the job if offered, and they'll keep Corey Raymond and Brad Davis. Major Applewhite? Yeah, that's not going to happen. Mullen to LSU. LA Mom 2020, what's up? Tony Yayo. Clay Travis or Glenn Gilbo should pick the next LSU coach. I mean, they let Joe Oliva do it once. Why not those guys? Want to go Pete Carmichael from the Saints? Yeah, that's not going to happen, obviously. Why does Joe Brady suck with the Panthers? Tony, Joe Brady sucks with the Panthers because Joe Brady wasn't the fucking guy behind the LSU offense in 2019, for the love of God. How many times do I have to say this? When is this actually going to penetrate the fucking minds of everyone that listens to me? Joe Brady was not the genius behind 2019. Steve Ensminger called every fucking play in 2019. Joe Brady sat next to Steve Ensminger. On third down, Joe Brady could make a suggestion for a play that Steve could either use or call his own plays. Steve Ensminger was the quarterback's coach, and he called every play. Joe Brady worked with the receivers in 2019, never worked with the quarterbacks. On top of that, you had a transcendent quarterback who is the greatest player that ever came through this program. And he was throwing to basically NFL wide receivers. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, the best rookie receivers in each of the past 2 years. Throw on top of that Terrace Marshall, Thaddeus Moss, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, two linemen that were starting as rookies in the NFL. You had an NFL offense in 2019. I could have fucking sat in Joe Brady's chair and done that job. He got more credit than he deserved because Steve Ensminger was humble enough because he didn't fucking care about getting credit. But I'm so fucking sick and tired of hearing about Joe fucking Brady, okay? You're seeing now why Joe fucking Brady didn't mean what people think he meant. Did he bring concepts to the offense? Yes, great. There's a lot of people that could have brought RPO concepts, but you're seeing it right now. He's damn near about to lose his job in Carolina. It's not as easy to be in that role when you don't have Joe Burrow throwing to fucking Jamar Chase and Terrace Marshall and Thad Moss and Justin Jefferson. Paul Landry, hello from Costa Rica. Alan S. think there's a good chance Saban retires if Alabama wins the Natty. That's not true. That's actually not smart. He's going to coach until the day he dies. Sean S. wasn't Joe Brady's offense either. Let's see. That's true. Sean Payton, that Joe Brady stole. I think Joe Brady, during his time at Penn State, did some RPO stuff that he brought the concepts that they used with Taysom Hill stuff. I think that's true. But listen to Sean Payton talk about Joe Brady. He's like, you mean the guy who fucking used to get us coffee and shit? Man, does it mean drunk? Jesus. I'm not even drunk. This is my first pour. It's like an ounce. I've had an ounce of whiskey. I'm not drunk. Just how I am. I just get sick of answering the same fucking question over and over again when nobody fucking listens to me. It drives me crazy. It drives me fucking crazy. Why don't they hire Joe Brady? You mean the fucking kid who's about to lose his goddamn job calling plays in Carolina? Let's hire that fucking guy. He He wasn't the OC. And that's the other thing. When I listen to national broadcasts, how lazy are these fucks when they're like, Joe Brady was the offensive coordinator. No, he wasn't. He was the passing game coordinator. The same role that fucking old man geriatric Jerry Sullivan held the year before. It was a do-nothing job. God. They both worked together. It was a two-man show, but he was calling the plays. Joe Brady, the wide receiver, on point. No, like, that's so not, like, it was not a two-man show, Chase. Like, you're wrong. It was not a fucking two-man show. Like, you're a fan. You know, like, I'm talking to people that were on the headsets, listening on game day, fucking off the train on game day. Dustin Cruel, Jameis was a shit show at FSU. Yeah, all he did was win the Natty and didn't lose a game as a starter until the last game he started. What a fucking stupid, idiotic question. Jesus Christ. I can't take y'all no more, bro. I gotta go. I can't take y'all no more. I gotta go just fucking drink some water and go to bed. I can't take y'all. Jimbo. Who the fuck is that guy? Jacques Fisher. No, not you, Jacques. You seem cool. Who's talking about crypto and hodling crypto? I agree with him. Jacques, you're a good dude. My bad. Respect, Jacques. My bad. That wasn't about you. That was about whoever the guy was that was like, hey, Jameis was a disaster. Right. He just won like fucking 30 straight games as a starter. Yeah, what a disaster. Fucking idiots. I swear to God. They're on killing me tonight. Dustin Cruel, God forbid we just had the best season. God forbid we just had the best season in history of football? What does that even mean? Jason Austin, who's your number one coach? Who's your number one choice? Nick Saban. Can we get the Mel Tucker agreement before the end of the session? I mean, Todd, I think Mel Tucker's agreed to take the job. Mel Tucker has agreed to take the job if they offer it. Like all y'all saying no, Mel, but y'all better get used to the idea because there's a very real possibility that happens. Buddy Bond, Matt, you're hilarious. Thank you, buddy. Unintentionally hilarious. Jason Austin, what's up? Pat Roy, now you know how I feel. Or is that Patrick Waugh? Remember the goalie? Speaking in English, Matt's not pushing Brady. Todd Samuel. Sounds like Matt Rule didn't do his homework on Joe Brady. It's amazing how average of a play caller you are when Sam Darnold is your quarterback in Carolina. Yet Sean Payton has Trevor Siemian against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and wins that game. That's an offensive genius. That's a play caller that knows how to be 5 steps ahead of a defense. Oh, Dustin Cruel, I know 2019 they won the championship, but the way you said it was, God forbid we won the best. Like, what does that even mean? Like, I don't think you're using that in right context. Like, you didn't even make a point. You just said, God forbid we won't have the best season. Like, what? God forbid God forbid what? Like, you're not using that correctly. So I don't know what point you're trying to make. Corey Landry, who's your number 2 coach if you could choose? Because I said Nick Saban was my number 1. Dabo Sweeney. Look, man, whoever LSU hires, I trust Scott Woodward, and I think LSU is going to be fine. Dustin, you're really not understanding. Like, you really don't get it. Like, you didn't use the phrasing properly. So whatever you were trying to communicate, you did a very poor job. That's my point. Like, to say, God forbid, we had the best season, like, that's to, if you're going to use God forbid, it's to contrast something that's happening. Like, God forbid I actually go have fun tonight. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a bad thing that you did something good. Like, I don't understand. Like, you're not making up your point. Like, eliminate the God forbid part and just spell out exactly what you were trying to say without trying to use any type of communicative device, because you're failing in that aspect. Michael Costello, what's up from Daytona International Speedway? All right, man. Thank you for watching, Michael Costello. All right. What is that? No, I apologize if you've answered this. I was wondering if Jimbo or Tuck. Recommend some other wheat whiskey. So Pierce, a good one that's affordable that you can find anywhere is Larceny. I'm not telling you it's great, but Larceny is wheated bourbon that you can find pretty much anywhere. It's affordable. It's not great, but if you like a wheat, if you can find Jefferson's Ocean wheated, that's fantastic. Now it's like $80, but that is amazing. Gregory Flitter did an Ollie Otter pick Bowling Green. Oh god, now I have to check it out. His picks have been brutal lately. I've been in full fade the Otter mode. His Maction picks are atrocious. What did he pick? Let's see. All right, give me some Maction scores here. Let's see, y'all. The Otter, I think, did have Bowling Green. He did. He had Bowling Green tonight. All right, let's see. I think Bowling Green was catching 9, maybe. $49-17. Or was that the game you liked the over? No, we liked the over in the Kent State Central Michigan game. Did that hit? It did hit. The over hit. His favorite play of the night was gotta give him credit. If you're gonna criticize, you gotta give him credit. His favorite play, and he also liked Ball State. Wait, was Ball State -3? I think Ball State might have been -3. So he lost that. But he did give you he said his favorite play was the over in Central Michigan, Kent State. That was 75. It ended up 54-30. So that was 84. So that cruised to a cover. So he nailed that. You got to give him credit. It's okay, Matt. Hunt broke your AFR chair on the Tiger Zone. Interesting. I wonder what he did. Matt, do you feel Coach O should not have told the media about the call he had with Nussmeier's dad? No. It's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Matt's losing hope in humanity. No, I think human beings are genuinely good natured. Are genuinely good natured. I believe that. I believe humans are genuinely good people. We when times are tough, we put our differences aside and we help our neighbors. I do believe in the genuine good of humanity. I think sports makes. I heard who said this line. Sports and women make smart men dumb, and it's so true. Sometimes smart men lose all logic when discussing sports or women. True. Did Slinger light up with a Georgia quarterback back in the day? He did. I think he had Eric Zier when he was there, if I'm not mistaken. BM7, give me Jimbo over most all their candidates on the list. Does anyone realize how good his 2020 recruiting class is right now? All right, we might be about done. thus burning his red shirt. Good idea or not? Up to him, man. Kevin. I really don't have an opinion on that. I think seriously, if he doesn't want to play 5 years of college football, then yeah, then play. You have an opportunity to play this year, play for sure. I mean, I don't think Max Johnson has played well enough to absolutely warrant him continuing to start and having the job in perpetuity. So yeah. Gabriel Agosta. Matt, who'd you pick, Rule or Jimbo? I might actually take Rule, believe it or not. I bet on the upside. Younger guy who's won at two really impossible places to win. I'd bet on the upside there. But I think Jimbo would be more of a sure thing, but shorter term. Alex Day, Matt, you've been talking about GMX going a bit more for a while. When's it going to happen? Well, in the announcement from Gamecoin was that it was coming in Q4, which would mean before the end of the year. I believe it will be before New Year's. I think it will be relatively close, but really not at liberty to say. But the one thing I will say is that when that announcement comes, it will be strategic in nature. So I just really trust the people who make those decisions, and I'm really excited about it. Pierce Lee, Jacoby Matthews going to pledge to A&M this weekend. Experts have him training there. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up at A&M or Bama. A&M is a really good possibility. I would tell you also that he has a great relationship with Mickey Joseph. So if Mickey Joseph is retained, depending on who the new coach is, he could end up back in the LSU boat. All right, y'all. Matt, have you the bourbon? Whoops, sorry, I scrolled off. Gulf South, Matt, I need a Hudco hat. Got you, bro. Driving to Vail, Colorado, and Mount Rushmore. Trying to get 2 roofs from you all. Emailing saying my papers for the second property now. Awesome, dude. I would happily get you a hat. Let me know how to do that. If you're in town, let me know. Come up to Guarantee or something like that. I'll pass off a few. Would happily do that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Matt, I heard from my cousin's wife's friend's dad, whose uncle has a friend who said that Woodward was in Lafayette and Napier will be the next coach. Did I do that right? I gotta go to bed. Jackson Carney, Deli said Tucker wasn't a Woodward hire. Now you're telling us to get used to him. Yes, I am. I'm telling you, get used to that idea because it's a very real possibility. And what Deli said is that it doesn't fit the mold of a Woodward hire, the big splash, which is true. I mean, that is true. That also doesn't mean that it won't happen. If that makes sense. All right. Sparta's in the thick of the playoff hunt. What happens if Jimbo is a no and Tucker isn't going to leave a playoff team? I agree with that, Jackson. That's a good question. I also don't think Michigan State is going to go 11-1 and then win the Big Ten. I think they're going to lose again. Mr. CEO, are you a betting man? I am. If so, who would you bet is the next head coach who's out from the race? If I had to bet, it would be Mel Tucker. That doesn't mean it's done, but if I had to bet, I'm saying, what's the most likely outcome? That's what I would bet. Matt, can the next coach bring on the assistant from Texas who left the pole assassin? All right, we're done. We're officially done with pole assassin. All right, thank you all so much for watching. If you're hanging out on Facebook, please like the page, share the post. YouTube, please smash that like button. And if you have not done so yet, subscribe to the Matt and Scone channel. Appreciate it very much. All right, y'all have an awesome night. We'll see you tomorrow. Later. Thanks for hanging out.